right. Another episode coming up. I cannot wait to talk about the season 32 cast. This is going to be one hell of a season. The only spoiler that I had going into it was that I knew Will and James were going to be on the show. Other than that, I don't know anything other than what CBS has released. Does anybody have any spoilers? Does anybody spoiled at all?
No.
Nope, nothing.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I definitely love that. All right. So, do we want to get right into it? I don't know how long it's going to be or how long you guys could stay. Jen, we haven't talked to you in a little bit. Is there anything that you want to talk to us about? I know you're a new mom. How's mom life?
Mom life is good. Yeah, new mom during quarantine, and the coronavirus has been interesting.
Does it affect you guys? You're like in the middle of the mountains somewhere. Like, is there any people even around you in the mountains up there? Like,
we're pretty quarantined anyway, all the time. Yeah, early on it did. Now I feel like we're finding a groove.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I see. It hasn't stopped you too much. You guys are still hiking and biking and running and trekking, and that's great. That's definitely the way to stay in shape. I just not me. None of that happened. None of that happened for me.
Are you guys still building those little houses on wheels?
We are. Yeah.
Justin, you got to see them. They're the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Escapades? What are you talking about?
What is it? It's like a.
Yeah. My husband and I have a business called Escapade. We manufacture teardrop trailers, so they're little tiny off-road camper trailers that you can pull behind your Jeep or whatever. They can go anywhere that your Jeep can go. And yeah, we've blown up this year. Actually.
Yeah. COVID yeah.
Was, kind of a benefit to us in this really perversely ironic way. So
yes.
you can't feel bad about being successful no matter when it is. I mean, we know that a lot of people are struggling now, but that's all going to rebound. We're all going to come back. We always do. That's what we do. We're humans. We're human beings. We bounce back. We're flexible. But let's talk about flexible, because some of these teams that I've been looking at are not as flexible as others.
Great segue.
I don't know where that came from. This is so terrible. All right. So season 32, obviously this cast has waited 2 years to see their premiere episode. So they are all super excited. You could see on social media just like the excitement that's going on. I reached out to the cast as a group. I sent like a big message just to give them like, hey, here's what to expect. Here's some of the things you should focus on. Before we kick this off, is there any advice or one or two pieces of advice that you'd like to give to the cast before their season starts? Maya, what do you got?
I would just say, enjoy the ride, and they're going to get a lot of attention because everyone's home. So it's different than any of our seasons when we were, kind of every day, going about our lives. But this time, eyes can be glued and people are yearning for like travel, sort of thing. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of eyes are going to be on this season. But I say to whomever gets in the final 3, whoever becomes winner, enjoy the ride, because it's a ride. And I feel like I'm still on the ride in various ways. So enjoy it.
Joey?
Yeah, ignore the trolls, because there's probably even going to be more of them. And I might be one of them tonight. So, yeah, don't let it get to you, no matter how nice you are. Even the wonderful Maya and the beautiful Jen. Some people, I can't even imagine why I didn't like them and the way they played. Some people didn't like me. Everybody hated Justin. So, Diana. So
I
just
know.
don't listen to them. Don't even, just completely ignore them. If they're on your social media, block them. You'll have plenty of friends. And like Maya said, totally enjoy the ride, because the ride itself is life-changing, even if you don't do all the social media stuff after. I think we all can agree that we've all had an eye-opening on life coming back from the race.
Jen? I mean, you were an ex-gamer, so you probably had to deal with a lot of this beforehand. So what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I echo both of what Maya and Joey are saying. Remember that it is an edited TV show at the end of the day, so they're making a character out of who you are. So yeah, I mean, whatever criticisms are there are of your character, but like you as a character, not your character, and not who you are as a real person. And then, just be prepared for a little lull after the show airs.
Yeah.
I feel like when it's over really fast. And, I'm 3 years, it was 3 years ago now that we filmed our season, which is crazy. And I feel like I can look back on it so fondly now, and it's all like the happy memories. So just trust in that a little bit.
Yeah, some solid advice. And every little bit of that, I told them in that chat. And like the biggest thing is, don't worry about defending yourself. Let shows like my show and the recappers do the defending and talking about things like that or whatever. Or just focus on the good. The people who are negative are going to speak so much louder, and you'll think that there's so many more people that feel that way than really are. Because the people who love you, the people who enjoy you, don't always speak as loud. They don't have the need to run to social media and say they love you. But the trolls and the people that have criticism run to social media and try to get the hype. So focus on the good instead of the bad. Trust me. I responded to every troll, and it just got frustrating after a while. And before I knew it, the season was over. It's over so fast. You're not going to believe how fast the season is going to be over with. So focus on the good, enjoy the ride, take the wave, and go. All right. So don't take anything we say personal. We are just judging based on looks pretty much, and a quick little video that people posted on Instagram. So we don't have much to go on except your bios and your little snippets. So we could be totally wrong. A lot of times we're pretty good with some of our stuff and way off with others, but we'll see. All right, let's kick it off. Let's kick this puppy off. We're going to talk, let's see, maybe if I'll bring this over here so people can see a little bit. I'll cover my stupid face so people can see this. All right, so we're starting off with father and son, Jerry and Frank. Jerry and Frank. This is going to be an interesting dynamic for me. When I look at them, I see a particular style of play. I see a lot of potential issues with this team. Again, dad was a professional athlete, and the son is a scholarship athlete who's probably going to be professional as well. Dad's a coach, and he's the oldest member on the race, 60 years old. His son is 25. Joey, what do you got to say about Jerry and Frank?
Just judging by their videos, it seems like one of those teams that one of them doesn't really want to be there, type of thing. It's kind of, I need a partner. Dad, you're it. Be a good dynamic. So when you get a parent child team, and then you get one that's, one that doesn't seem to be all excited. You know how that ends up usually.
Yeah, all right. I'll kick mine off so you guys know where we stand. All right. Jerry's current occupation, he's a sports radio host. He's the athletic director of men's basketball at college. Some things that stood out to me is, what do you hope to accomplish by running the amazing race with your partner? He says, from running the race, I hope to strengthen the already tight bond with my father, this is the son, as well as show him he's raised a great and capable young man. He's the best father I could have ever asked for, and I want to give back by showing him his work didn't happen in vain or won't go unnoticed. Dad is the son's a luxury car salesman, basketball player. Dad said, what do you hope to accomplish? He said, this is a lifelong dream and bonding with my son. So we're going to talk about top three, bottom three, middle of the pack, and then at the end we'll talk about who we think's going to win. So if you have them in your top three, don't say if they're going to win or not. I have them in my bottom three. I think they don't stand a chance on the race. I think Dad has 0% chance of listening to the son at any point. He's used to being the coach. He's used to telling his son what to do. He's used to being like, listen to me type of guy. He's a powerful man in a powerful position, ex-professional athlete. Great. He wants to bond with his son. They're going to bond whether they win or lose. I think their biggest downfall is not going to be able to communicate properly, and him not listening to his son. I have them in my bottom three. Maya, what are you thinking?
So I think for them, I think that it's great that they're both competitors because they do have that to their advantage. Not quite sure, how fast, basketball for years, on the father's body. that could slow him down. You know what I mean? Like physically, and so he's not where he was, 30 years ago when he was, at his prime. So not saying that he's not capable by any means, because clearly we know that, regardless of age, you can do anything, but it's just the wear and tear in his body that being a professional athlete, does at his age. But I do agree with you, Justin, that they have the dynamic of coach and player. And, hopefully, I don't know, but hopefully that has shifted a little bit where it's more balanced now. So I do not have them in my top 3. I don't have them in my bottom 3 either. I just kind of have them there.
Middle of the pack?
Yeah. I mean, because I think that wisdom is going to be advantageous and the father has it. But it just depends. And the son brings in the younger sort of wisdom. So I don't know. I don't really know where to put them, but hopefully they can balance each other and get out of that coach and player kind of mentality. Hopefully they're not in it anymore. So we'll see.
Jen, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, kind of. I can't decide if I go bottom 3 or low mid. Am I breaking up? Am I back?
You're back.
You're back.
Okay.
You got to forgive Jen. She's in the mountains on a hot spot.
Sorry, I'll bail if it's terrible. But yeah, I mean, so Cedric in our season was older, kind of similar. I mean, not as old as Jerry, but he couldn't run. He literally could not run. So he would walk everywhere. And all of us are sprinting like maniacs. And he's walking, but he was actually able to make good decisions and then see us go like 7 places and then figure out the right place. And then he just ended up at the right place. So there are ways that can be advantageous.
Yep.
But I don't see him. It's still such a physical game now. I don't know that he's going to stick around long either. I have like 4 for my bottom 3. He's probably my 4th pick for the bottom 3. So
that's kind of where I was. Basically.
Middle of the pack,
basically
bottom.
There.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think we're all pretty much in agreement with this team. We don't expect too much from them. And watching their videos, I don't see that fire. I mean, they may have that fire on the basketball court, but I don't see that fire that you need to be successful on The Amazing Race. All right, next up, I think this is a team we might have some disagreements on. This is Kalyn and Haley, the sisters. They are both real estate agents. They had a rough childhood. They both moved out around the age of 16 and have been together as a pair ever since. Them against the world type of mentality. For me, I have them directly middle of the pack. I'm getting heavy Krista Tiffany vibes where people are going to underrate them and they're going to be like, finish 4th, 5th in that type of area. I think that tenacity, the ability that the things that they've gone through in their life has prepared them for adversity. So I think they're going to work well together. I don't know if they have different skill sets, though. They may be too similar to make it too far, which I think a couple teams are like that, where they have too much of the similar skill sets. I think because they got out of the house so early in life that they've probably done the same things their whole life. They both have the same job. They both look similar. They've both gone through the same experiences. So I think the similarities and then the lack of diversity in their skill sets are going to keep them middle of the pack. Jen, what do you think?
Yeah, so I kind of totally judged them, which I feel bad admitting as a female. I try to not do this, but they climbed a few rungs on the ladder for me after I learned more about them, which is why you don't judge books by the cover. Because it does sound like they've had to be pretty self-reliant for a long time, which will come in handy on the race for sure. I agree with that assessment, middle of the pack for them.
Okay. Joey?
Didn't we have these almost mirror images on, what was it, season 25, 26? They were out first?
Oh, Lisa and Michelle.
Yeah, 2 pretty blonde real estate agents from Florida. I don't know. I think
hilarious.
Yeah.
I think they're the first team from South Carolina, or one of the few teams to ever be cast from South Carolina. But yeah, okay. They're very similar.
They do have some these life experience. I think life experience speaks volumes on the race. race. I think that's where you really can skip ahead and get to the top 3. But again, I like Jen on this one. It's kind of like you're judging the book by its cover, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna go not bottom 3, but bottom middle of the pack.
Okay.
Probably out right after Frank and Jerry.
All right, Dr. Maya, what do you got to say about these two?
So, unfortunately, it's not known that all female duos tend not to do very well in the race. We know that. Jen, we know that. It's not even that they always make it into final 3 and all of that. So I feel like 2 female teams coming in already have a little bit of a not so great edge, depending upon how the race is set up sometimes. But there's a reason why there's only been 3 female team winners. So all I can say that it is judging a book by its cover. I don't know much about them physically, and we don't know that. So it's really hard. But I'm hoping that they'll kind of come through, but I kind of have them towards the middle bottom, because I think that yes, life experience does matter, but I think that worldly experience is very different than life experience. And yes. I don't know where they are street smart wise in terms of international travel, all of that. I don't know yet. So I think there's just a lot that we don't know about them. And so I hate judging, but I'm just going to go off of my gut and just say bottom middle kind of thing.
Yeah, I already apologized. We know we have to judge. I mean, we're doing a cast assessment based on very, very little information. So I think.
Yeah, hot.
Well.
Joey.
Has there been a female from The Amazing Race that we interviewed that you weren't trying to date at some point?
No, I think it's more of a flirty thing, not really a date. And I do it to most men too, so I just like to make people feel good about themselves.
Did Hudak, Jen?
Yeah, we flirted.
No. Yes. No, we're good to go. So, all right, we're all pretty similar. We have them all middle of the pack. I have them more towards the top, where some of you have them more towards the bottom. But like I said, I think they're a solid 4th or 5th place team. I think that's
4th or 5th? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, middle of the pack.
5th?
That's middle of the pack. 4th, 5th, 6th, and then 7th, and then 8, 9, and 10.
Middle.
Huh?
Yeah, that's upper middle.
Well, there's top 3. There's top 3, and then there's 4, which would start the middle of the pack.
Jen and I are on the same page, because I'm like 4th. Yeah.
Same.
You have them lower middle. I have them higher middle.
I have them bottom middle.
All right, bottom middle. Okay, you're gonna be proven wrong, just like Kristen and Tiffany. Now we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I love the surprises of the season, because that's what makes The Amazing Race so great. You have 4 teams with professional athletes on them, going up against some regular people, going up against brains. This season has a bunch of professional athletes, bunch of really, really smart teams, and then those fish out of water teams, they throw 1 or 2 in there, and we'll see how they go. So up next, we have Hung and Chi. They are married parents. Kalyn and Haley are 30 and 31, but Hung and Chi are 39 and 38. For those of you who don't know who they are, these are them right here. They are a beautiful couple. Look like they fit well together. I think that they're super happy as a couple. I don't think they're going to do that well on The Amazing Race. I have them as a bottom 3. I see them as a team that's going to not take too many chances. They're not going to take the risks that they potentially need to take at certain times in the race. I think they're going to be really conscious of their actions, because they're super proud to be these parents and want to be these role model type parents. And I think it's really, really hard in times of diversity to push through and do some of the things that may not be the best of role model type of things for your kids, and I think that's where they're going to suffer. They also said they didn't prep too much, as well as the only thing that they did was really watch a bunch of seasons, because they didn't have a lot of time. They're both really busy with work and the kids. And also the question of, what do you hope to accomplish by running The Amazing Race with your partner? He said, I want to laugh a lot with my wife. Okay, you could do that in the bottom 3. It doesn't sound like somebody who's trying to win the race. So I unfortunately have these two. Even though male-female couples tend to do a lot better in the race, I think I have them as a bottom 3. Maya, what are you thinking? Hung and Chi.
So, I'm a little different than you on them, only because I think their professions in their professional setting and like their intense sort of professions can help them in the race personally. I think that they have to kind of think quick and be able to make decisions, but I think the dynamic of the two, so Hung being a bit more bold and dynamic, I think she's going to have to pull that out of Chi a lot more. But I think that there'll be a little less arguing because it seems like they already know who makes the decisions. And they're not gonna be like, oh, what should we do? It's gonna be, okay, do this and let's go. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be kind of be matter of fact. And husband and wife teams female, male teams do tend to do very well. So I actually have them upper, middle, so like 5th, 6th kind of.
Okay.
Because I actually think that they're going to do well because of their history and because of their wisdom. They are a little older. And by older, I mean they're like, 39 and 40 or whatever, something like that. So
yeah, 38 and 39. They do speak Vietnamese. That may come into play, may not, but it's very specific. Like if they spoke Chinese, it'd be different because they tend to go to China all the time. Very rarely go to like Vietnam. One's a professional development coach. The other one's financial planning and analysis. So they got that analyzing type of brain.
And that you can't see that on the race, but it's very important. I mean, Amy and I ran the race that way, and you can't see it, but it actually is very a critical part of the race. So that's why I put them where they are. But you'll also notice that I put a lot of the brainier teams above because, of course, that's who Amy and I were. An ice cream nerd.
Ice cream nerd. Joey, what do you got for Hung and Chi?
Okay, they're going to get to know each other and laugh, and they're going to do all that from sequester. They're going to have a great time because they're out first.
First, Boots.
First. They're out first.
Wow.
Because I don't think they've... a life coach, wonderful, great. Met one doing some fundraising, but...
Oh, my God, look at the beauty! Look how beautiful her kid. Oh, my God.
Oh, look at those eyes.
So bright. Look at the world. Say hello, world.
No, don't say that.
So cute.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Got that from a walk.
He's like the stunt double for the little guy in The Mandalorian.
How old? Jen?
My
13 months?
Headphones. He is 7.5 months.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
Kelsey Joey's baby's 13 months. That's why I was getting confused. I follow all the moms and the new moms and dads
Sorry,
on
I cut
Insta.
you off, Joey.
That's okay. It's worth it.
Hell yeah.
I was just shitting all over Chi and his head, whatever.
Hung and Chi.
No,
don't be a dick.
Hung and Chi. Sorry.
You can be funny, but don't be a dick.
I didn't remember. I had to look down. You saw me look down. There's a lot of names. Yeah. Why are they on it? It's one of those. There's no interest there. They watched a couple episodes. Okay. I mean, I did that getting ready for the race. So did all of you.
Right.
There's no test of stress between them. Their parents.
They're married.
Okay.
That's stress.
No, that's family stress. That's not outside stress entering.
Well, we don't know. We don't know though.
Yeah,
we don't know.
I actually disagree. One of their clips, they said they work like multiple jobs. Like it sounds like they're juggling a lot in their
But that's
house.
controlled stress. That's stress that they invited for themselves. They're going to get the outside stress of the race. And they're also people who are a life coach. You're telling people how to control. When you get into that stressful situation that you can't control and you don't know where you are in the pack, dead last.
False.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Joey.
Listen.
I don't agree at all.
It wouldn't be fun if we all agreed.
I know. I'm here to be the unsilent masses.
Jen?
Yep. So I agree with Maya on this one again. I actually wrote down both of their professions as things that stood out to me because, like, from the life coach aspect, as someone who is a certified life coach, you have to know what you're coaching, like what you're coaching people on. So it's stuff that you, if you're a good coach and you're doing it for a living, I presume that you can use on yourself as well. So I think that will come in handy to manage stress. And then as far as like the financial planning piece, that really analytical thinking, like I imagine this dynamic will be, Hung as like the motor, and am I getting this right? Hung is the woman, right? Okay.
Yeah, she's the wife.
And then she's like the one that's kind of behind the scenes, like making sure everything is proceeding as it needs to. So I have them upper middle.
And what happens when it doesn't proceed that way?
They deal with the stress. Yeah.
I'm
going there.
I don't know.
If you guys have any questions you want to ask in the chat, make sure you at one of us or at me so I can see it pop up, and we'll get to all the questions at the end of the assessment.
Justin, what do you have the title on? I've been trying to find it on Racers Recap, and I can't find it anywhere.
Can't find
Just
what?
type in Racers Recap. Just type in Racers Recap Amazing Race.
I just get the YouTube channel.
Okay, Jen. It is the YouTube channel. It should be it should be pop up right there as live on the YouTube channel.
God, it's not. I don't know why. But anyway, I'll figure it out.
Jesus.
I know. Keep going.
Joey. Also, thank you so much, everybody, for and Jen thanks you. She's gonna restart her internet and jump back on. She said thank you for all of the compliments on her son, and thank you so much for the compliments or the congrats on me having a second son. We're due in February.
What? Congratulations!
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Wow, in February, so soon.
Yes,
I can't wait.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Gonna have another son.
Yay.
All right.
Yay, Charlie's gonna be a big brother. That's
he's
a great name.
We're looking. We had a name for like 5 years, and then all of a sudden Diana's like, maybe here, throw this one out. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And we don't like to throw the names out there because people like to judge beforehand. Like if you tell them the name beforehand, they're like, well, maybe you should go with this. But if you tell them after, it's like, oh, that's a great name. So
right.
Yeah, we'll hold on to that.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Hey, I'm so happy to see many races all together. Hey, greetings from Paraguay. Thank you so much. Paraguay in the house. Do you have any suggestions on dairy-free ice cream?
Yes. Yes.
Maya. All right. We'll get.
Yeah, I'll answer later.
We'll get to that at the end. Yeah, I'm sorry. I read that out loud. I'll put that on the list. We'll just skip anything Michael Harmstone asks. All right. So next up, I was just trying to stall a little bit for Jen, but she can come in afterwards. Next up is going to be Nathan and Cody. They're best friends from Tennessee, 39 and 33. They are noodlers, which means they fish for catfish with their hands, their bare hands. One works at a Lazy Boy manufacturer, and the other one's environmental and sustainability manager. I think they're going to be great in any water challenges. But other than that, I have them as bottom 3 potential first boots. When asked if they did a lot of prep, they didn't. They just watched a couple seasons. I think every team watched seasons, so that doesn't really count to me of watching seasons. You should watch seasons. You should have seen every season. If you didn't prepare at all. In my opinion, you didn't have to watch them 3 times like I did, but you should have watched at least every season. You had enough time. So I have Nathan and Cody, the best friends, as bottom 3. I think they're going to be so fun to watch. I just don't think they'll be able to compete with the rest of these teams. I don't see them having any skills that these other teams have, as well as other skills. I think they're very much going to be like each other. They're going to represent the South, which is great for that community. But fish out of water, not much experience in life outside of Tennessee type place, Kentucky. So I see them finishing bottom 3, potential first boots. Jen, what are you thinking about the best friends, Nathan and Cody? Nathan and Cody.
currently not doing much for me. I've got them bottom 3. I don't see anything that jumps out from their bios that would be a great asset to do well on the race.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't seem like super fiery, although the twins were pretty reserved on my season as well. Kind of similar vibes there. And they stuck around longer than people thought. They ended up middle of the pack, so you never know. But yeah, I've got them flagged as bottom 3.
All right, Maya.
Same. I mean, you all have pretty much covered it for me with them. Literally fish out of water sort of kind of thing. I think they're going to be bottom 3, but they may surprise us and like just be able to do things really quick. I think that's one thing that I think that we may underestimate them is maybe they'll be able to do tasks quick and we just can't see that yet. But I think it's going to be a fish out of water type experience for them. And I'm putting them in bottom 3. Sorry, guys.
Bottom 3. Could you stand up for a second? Because that shirt looks awesome. Amazing. Amy and Maya, amazing race.
I have on our shirt, Amy and Maya on our race.
Can people still get those, or is those like exclusive gone?
No, these were only for when we did it 6 years ago now.
All right, check eBay. See if you want them. Check
See
eBay.
if people are selling them.
Joey, what?
Shirts that we wore.
Those are awesome. I like those a lot. Joey, what are you thinking about Nathan and Cody? Best buds from Tennessee and Kentucky.
You know, I understand what you guys are saying, but I'm going to say they're going to be out 6 to 7.
Wow, middle of the pack. Dead middle.
Middle pack.
They might surprise us.
I think they're going to be like Drew and what's his name from season 1.
Kevin and Drew?
Kevin and Drew, yeah. I think they're going to be like that. Because these guys didn't have a lot. They were just college guys. That's what they kind of reminded me of. Those are the kind of... I think these are the guys who won't stress. I think stress, to me, is a huge part of where you go in the race. And if you can stay focused, then I think they can, anyone in the race can do okay. Not, get up to the top 3, but I think that's what's going to pull these guys. They wrestle catfish. So I think they can... These are the type of guys who can take a step back. And, kind of look at things. And also, when I watch their videos, they just look like they were in a lot of places. They were on a boat once, they were somewhere else once, so looked like they were...
Oh, you're taking clues from the trailers. Oh, there you go.
Not a lot with tongue in cheek.
Some amount of stress seems required, though, to me, to do well.
Agreed. And it also helps when
you just kind of chill,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree with you because I think
just justifying my own stress.
Yeah. when you disagree with your teammate, that might help you in the long run instead of just listening straightforward. Okay, this is what we're gonna do because you said it. I don't want to stress out. So I agree with you.
But one advantage they do have is that they do work together.
Yes.
So that's a huge advantage for them. So if they can use that to their advantage, that's why I say that they may surprise us. The 3 of us that put them in the bottom 3 is because they do work together. They're not husband and wife. They're not siblings. They can argue and get over it and move on. It's not going to hamper on them, I don't think, because they already work together. So I think that is advantageous for them. However, I just don't know how. Yeah, I still put them in the bottom 3, but I just want to put that out there.
They do live in different states. I don't think they work together, but that could be.
No, they don't. I thought they did in their video.
It could be. I mean, they both.
No, they do. They do. They do the catfish thing together.
The noodling. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, noodling together.
They noodle.
And the whole leg thing and yeah, together.
They're so cute. Bottom. First boots. All right. Now let's get to more of the professional athletes. Riley and Madison, professional volleyball players, the bearded crew, 31 years old and 29 years old, professional volleyball players, really athletic. I have them as an easy top 3. They're gonna finish the best out of the athlete teams. I think. I think volleyball, the 2-person sand beach volleyball sport is. I trust you 100%. We work on the same wavelength without talking to each other. So I think that they're going to work extremely well together. They also have studied the season, and they said that their families studied the season for them as well, took notes and gave them notes. Riley speaks Italian, and Riley grew up watching the show. So I think there's a lot of things that are in their favor. One thing I do want to know is how the hell did their families know they were on the show? Because you're not supposed to tell anybody. But
let the cat out of the bag.
On the off chance.
yeah, but
No, but if you have them sign the non-disclosure, you can tell your family.
Yeah.
You can tell your family.
True.
okay. So I have them as a top 3 team. Riley and Madison, professional volleyball players. Jen, what are you thinking about Riley and Madison?
Here's what I'm thinking. Christy and I were the first team of professional athletes to make it to the final 3. Is that actually true? Maybe that's not entirely true. There's a 4th place curse that happens a lot. Just like the extreme sport athlete people. I'll have to go do some fact checking after this. But, so yeah. Anyway, I have them in 4th because I think something terrible is gonna happen. And they're just going to miss out on going to the top 3, and they should definitely be there, based on their skill set. And yeah, I mean, I agree with everything that you said, Justin. And with volleyball, in particular, beach volleyball.
And they're brothers. They're both, obviously, their last names were the same. When I read Riley McKibben and Madison McKibben, they are brothers. If you want me to mention that, go ahead. Sorry.
There's a lot of siblings on this season.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that their fitness is going to be advantageous too, because you have to have a lot of power for beach volleyball, but it's long matches too. So you've got endurance, and I think that combination is going to be useful.
All right, Dr. Maya Warren, your thoughts on the professional volleyball playing brothers, Riley and Madison?
I agree. Yes, I agree with you and Jen as well. I actually have them as a possible winner.
We'll talk about the winners at the end, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
I think that they bring a dynamic that's needed. They know each other extremely well, and that's important. But they work together. They play volleyball together, so they're competitors. They also know how to kind of move on if a mistake happens and keep the game going. And they probably know how to encourage each other, know how each other kind of ticks. So I have them doing very well. I don't necessarily know how smart they may be, like the whole analytical side. So that kind of worries me, but we've seen teams do very well that maybe we don't always see that in the beginning. So I have them going very far. Hopefully they can break that curse, Jen, with that, the athlete curse that you mentioned. I have to think about that to see what other teams have gone far. But yeah, that's my opinion.
Joey, what are you thinking about the bearded brothers?
I'm not being a dick.
Anytime you have to preface it that way, you know you're being a dick. Go for it, Joey.
Yeah.
Jen's up. You know I'm opinionated, and you know I just say it like it is. So they're gonna go top 3, and that's strictly because they annoy me.
They annoy you.
They annoy me to no end, and I'm sure that they're awesome guys, and we're probably gonna do fundraising. Give Kids the World, guys. I'm sure we're gonna have a great time, but you annoy. I can't stand Beardos. Beardos.
Michael Rados.
He's one of my dearest friends. I love that man, but he took me to the beard bar with all the little beardo weirdos, and I was just like, they're athletes. Jen's right. Even the boys from my season, the 4th place curse over a cab, they probably should have won the whole thing. 100% right. I agree with Jen, but Madison has 2 D's in his name. It's just these little things that drive me up the
2
wall.
D's, that affects him on the race. You
know what?
He can't help that.
I can't help the way I am either. But
you're the best.
These guys are going to go far, and I think I'm pretty sure they are, but there's just something about them.
Do you have them top 3 or middle of the pack?
Top 3, absolutely.
Top 3.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. You just don't like them. Okay.
Don't like them. You gotta hate somebody, right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, you don't have to, but you can.
Hate. Let's not use hate.
Yeah. All right.
Someone's gotta play the villain or the pain in the ass or whatever.
Next up, we have the green team this season. Alana and Leo, dating couple, 29, and trying without video to see if the audio's better. Okay, Jen. But You need to balance out me and Joey over here. You know, Maya's beautiful and all, but there's so much to balance out that, you know.
My was terrible. I'm sorry.
All right. I have them as my surprise top 3 team. I think they're super prepared. They're not just brains. If you saw the photos that were released from the Amazing Race, they are in great shape. They are hidden underneath those little nerdy sunglasses or glasses, and they are in great shape. Like CrossFit, they've studied the race to no end from what they were saying. What do you hope to accomplish by running the Amazing Race? I hope to gain a deeper trust and better understanding of Leo. This is obviously Alana. Especially in high-stress situations. My trust in myself can falter, and I want to see how much I can rely on him. We are great complements to each other, great partners, and yeah, I want to test that. Diana felt the same exact way. I think that they're going to be similar to us in the way that they studied the race, the way they prepared for the race, and the way that they're going to run the race. I have really high hopes for this green team. So I have them as top 3. Joey, what are you thinking about Alana and Leo? You got something against glasses? And no. And no.
He has glasses on.
I know, but they did get prescription swimming goggles for the race. That's how dedicated they are.
Oh my God.
What are you thinking, Joey?
Well, they're the hometown team. They live a few miles away.
Oh, Somerville. Somerville.
Yes.
Right.
Well, I don't know if they're from there. That's one of those places where everyone kind of goes to work in Boston from wherever. I'm going to say they're like 4th, 5th out. And I think it's because if one's depending on a lot, like suggesting, it seems as though that one of them, not going to say who, but one of this couple may have some, not self-esteem issues, but self-reassurance.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go full bore. Like you and Diana, you separate the two of you, there's not going to be an issue. If you separate the two of these, I think they might count on each other too much, i.e. roadblock.
Gotcha. Okay.
That a roadblock is going to be their downfall.
No,
but
Michael.
I think they're going to be probably 4th.
They won't be as abrasive as I was. That's for sure. But they will be as smart as I think they will be as smart as we were. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. All right, Dr. Maya Warren. So you have them where? Middle of the pack? 4th, top middle. Okay. Yeah, Maya Warren, Doctor. This is a brain team. You like brain teams?
I like the brain teams. So I'm putting them, top 3 or maybe 4th. Like I'm putting them really up there because one, they've studied the race. I mean, they kind of approached it with how Amy and I did. We studied the race and we did everything we possibly could to prepare as much as we could for the unknown. And I kind of see Amy and I in them a little bit, and they're going to get underestimated because people don't realize that you have to have so much brain power to run the race as well. You don't see it, but I really think that they are going to do well. I think they do balance each other. And I like the analytical side. I just do.
Yeah.
So I think that those teams can tend to do very well.
I think they're going to do great. Oh, Leo's in the chat. Hey. Alana's from LA, and he's from upstate New York, and they've been in Somerville for a few years.
I was right. Leo. Shit.
Jen. What you got, Jen?
Sorry for the baby in the background. I have them in the top 3 also.
Wow.
A few things I'm worried about. So different from Joey, I actually think I sensed a little bit of overconfidence in like, people aren't going to think that we're athletic, but we're athletic, and like a little of that energy. So almost like there's something to prove there. But I do think that I think they're really smart. I do think intelligence is hugely valuable in this race. And they seem like they understand that there's a social aspect to this game as well that's important. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think with those factors, they're going to be top 3. One other thing is fitness is different than athleticism. So while I know that they're fit, I don't know how athletic they are. So sometimes, depending on the challenge, that can work against you.
And where do you have them? Top 3 or middle?
I have them top 3 still, despite
Nice.
all of that.
Nice. Well, there
But
you go.
I think the whole balance of male female, and for the fact that they've both, like, I know what you're saying, Jen, with like athleticism versus like fitness, like, but you know, if they have to carry, you know, something, I think both of them could do it. So if it's a roadblock, I think both of them, either one of them could do it. Physically, I think that's going to be advantageous that they've both worked out the way that they have. Yeah, I have them going pretty far. So Leo, don't disappoint us.
So we all have him in the top 4-ish. I have him in the top 3. Somebody has the top 3. So we all got high hopes for them. That's awesome. I didn't think we were all going to agree on them, but here we are. Next up, we got Michelle and Victoria, 33 and 34 years old. They are sisters from Louisiana. The accents to me are so unique. The way they talk, it's got that slightly Asian, but a lot of Louisianan mixed. I like the difference in the way that they're talking. I think they're a solid middle of the pack, lower bottom middle of the pack. They did some pretty good prep for the show. I just don't see the drive that it takes to win this race in them as well. And they admit that they bicker a lot, which on the race, you don't have time to do that. And that could really negatively affect, especially if one really feels negative at a certain time. That could really, really hurt them on the race. They are high energy, but I have them like lower, middle, 7th, 8th type of position. What are you thinking about these two, Dr. Maya Warren?
You know, unfortunately, I don't have them going very far. The whole bickering is not gonna. It doesn't do you good on the race. And I don't really see what they're bringing other things to the table. Maybe the video just didn't really capture it all. But I just don't. I actually have them in my bottom 3.
Okay.
So I just don't see them as. I don't see like the huge drive, like the huge competitive. I just don't see it. So, and the bickering again is not. Yeah. So sorry, ladies. I want to see female teams dominate, but yeah.
There you go, Joey. How you feeling about them? All right, we know you think they're hot, but besides that, next.
I never said anything. You know, I'm so torn about these two because when you see their bios, when you see the videos, when you hear what they have to say, all I think of is I need this dumpster fire to go to the final. Because I can tell that everyone's not gonna. They're gonna be the.
Hi, Victoria. She's in chat. Hi, Victoria.
I know.
Welcome to
Hi,
the
Victoria.
chat.
So sorry. Please prove us wrong.
I haven't said anything yet. No, this is the team that you want just because they bicker and you know they add life to the you know this one's study and that one's over there and these two are just like probably like me and Tara. Well, I was just like, look at this, like people watching type of thing. I want to say they're gonna go all the way just because I want to see that dynamic, but I think they're gonna bicker enough and skate and to get by to get. I'm gonna say like fifth or sixth.
The Cajun Asians. And I think they speak Vietnamese as well, which could help. I don't think it's going to be much of a help because it doesn't translate to the other Asian languages as well as like Chinese or Japanese does. But we'll see. We'll see if it does come into play. Joey wants to see him go far. Has him in the top middle of the pack. Dr. Maya has him bottom 3. I have him solid middle, 7th-ish. But we'll see. I mean, again, we're only giving little snippets and giving you bios, so this is all we have to go on. We'll see how it goes. But Victoria, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Leo, I really appreciate you. And any other Season 32s that are live or watching this later, we really appreciate you guys. We hope to have you guys on the show at some point during the race. I think it's going to be really fun.
Don't hate me because I'm...
Because you ain't me.
Because I'm not a dick.
Listen, you have
I'm
to
like
give
Simon Cowell.
We have you here for your honest opinion. I mean, and
Yeah.
Simon Cowell was the favorite judge on the show anyway. Nobody liked Paula, and she was like the most nice judge, right? Nobody liked her.
No one likes you, Maya.
People love me. They're like,
Yeah.
why is she so
Loves you.
happy? Why is
She's-
she so happy?
She definitely is the happiest person that I've ever met. Seriously. I need some of that in my life. Okay. We'll ask Jen when she comes back Next up, Will and James. Will and James are a dating couple, 30 and 31. One's a public health specialist and a dance teacher who is also a next top model. So he's sexy beast. And I think he's like 6'6", big, tall, beautiful human. They are my top 3 for sure. I think I was fortunate enough to meet them. James was also a recapper of The Amazing Race with BuzzFeed TV during my season, so I watched and got to know a lot about him.
Me too.
Interacted with him a lot. And like I said, we got to meet at some of the great charity events. I think they are the perfect match for each other. And when you find the perfect match for each other, that means you balance each other out well. And they are not as similar as far as skill sets go. So I think that's going to help out a lot as well. James is a huge super fan since 12. He's known he wanted to be on this show. He's applied, 6, 7, 8, 9 times to be on the show with a bunch of different partners. And you're destined to be on the show when you got the right partner. He found Will. Will is the right partner. I think they're going to do really, really well on the show. I see them winning a bunch of legs. And they're criers, like I was. And we all know how that goes. So, I have them as solid top 3. Joey, what are you thinking? Will and James, the backpacking boyfriends.
And these two are just like the girls. I think stress is going to, even though they're super fans, I think there's going to be a lot of stress getting to them. I got them top 3 because I want to see them going. And I think because of just because of the super fan thing, you know what's coming. You can prepare for it mentally. You may not have the greatest physical strength in the world, but again, as long as you can get through it. The huge thing is the driving standard too. That was, it's kind of a big thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. I want to see these guys go far. They look like they're going to have an awesome time doing it as well. So. Yeah, definitely top 3. Not winning, though. Definitely not winning.
Definitely not winning, but top 3. All right, Jen, before we move on, we did Michelle and Victoria. They are the Cajun Asian sisters, 33 and 34. We all had them. Oh, no. We had solid middle of the pack. We had bottom 3, and we had top middle of the pack. Where did you have the Cajun Asian sisters?
Michelle and Victoria. I have them bottom 3.
Bottom 3.
Yeah. Jen and I are like the same person. Literally, we're like the same person.
They seem a little flighty.
Okay.
Like a little airheady to me.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, listen. You're entitled. We only have snippets to go on, and again, a lot of times we're wrong.
Always change. Yeah.
All right. What about Will and James, the backpacking boyfriends? I
have them top 3.
All right. That's who we're on now. So you can talk about Will and James.
Oh my gosh, I cut you off. Sorry.
No. That's who we're on now. Mm-hmm. Will and James. So it's your turn. Top 3. What else?
I'm going. You didn't even do like the intro.
I did that already.
Oh no! He did that already.
I did the intro. Okay. Joey went and
gotcha.
Your turn.
So yeah. I have them top 3. I think you always got to give a super fan a top 3 nod. There's just so much nuance in the race that you can't binge study it super effectively. And I think it's going to come in handy. I think they just have enthusiasm. And then also, Will said that the thing he's most proud of is their relationship, which I think bodes really well for them because you have to be able to work well with your partner to do well in this race. So, all good things for them.
Oh, okay. Maya, you didn't go yet, right?
No, I didn't go.
Okay, what are you thinking about Will and James?
I mean, I interviewed, did the whole, was it AfterBuzz or, back in the day, was on the race, and for the fact that, like being a true super fan like that. Yeah, I mean, I have them top 3. I think that the desire to be on the race will make them kind of makes they've studied it so much that they sort of almost know how to run it in a way, but yet they don't know what's coming, but they kind of know how to react because they literally have studied it so much. And I know that, Will has wanted this, Will and James, they've wanted, you know what I mean? So it just makes sense to me. So I think they're going to be top 3. Also, they're male teams. They tend to kind of do, male teams tend to kind of do well as well. So I have them going pretty far.
Victoria is in chat, by the way, and she says she looks forward to proving you wrong. Oh, well, actually,
yes,
she just
Victoria.
said, "Wow, we'll see."
Please prove us wrong, Victoria.
Listen,
Victoria, I said you were going to be a dumpster fire, and I wanted you to go
I'm
far.
sorry.
That's so much different.
if we all had nice things to say, nobody would watch the show. I pick the people to be on the show because of that, the diverse opinions, the diverse groups. We are all finished in the top 3. We do have a winner here, so we know what it takes to get to the final 3. We all have been very honest about how we feel, and I think that's all we could do based on what we see. Based on what we see. Don't blame us. Just like a lot of people say, "Oh, Justin, you were such a dick on the show." Like, hey, don't blame me. Blame the edit. They want to show the 3 times we argued. You got the 3 times we argued. They don't show all the loving and kissing we did whatever. All right.
Oh, wait.
You jerk. All right, so let's move on to another set of brother and sisters. I am going to destroy their names. Aparna and Eswar?
I think that's right. Aparna for sure. And I think that's Eswar.
All right, cool. 26 and 24 years old out of California. They're both like engineers, software engineers, entrepreneurs, super smart team, brother and sister, that typical like Asian family mentality where work hard, prove us, like no matter how good you do, it's not good enough. Like, so they always strive for greatness. I have them as a nice middle of the pack. They do say they clash a lot which is going to negatively affect them on the race. They both do these like really solo type like jobs where they're like them and a computer. So they get into their own little world. I think that's going to negatively affect them. And then what do you hope to accomplish by running the race? Hopefully we can learn to work better together and understand how to deal with each other's flaws. So they're already admitting that they don't work well together before the race starts. So I have them lower, 8th, maybe 7th. I think they're young, they're athletic, they're smart. They could get them a couple of legs, but I don't think they have what it takes to drive through. Jen, what do you think of Aparna and Eswar?
I have them upper middle pack. They firstly will lead with their intelligence. They're very smart, but also they listed a lot of different like hobbies and interests. And I think that the more diversified you can be for this race, it's kind of like training for it your whole life without needing to train and prepare, because you can't really train and prepare for this much. And then as it's male female, but it's brother sister.
Looks like Eswar.
So they know each other. So yeah, I think that they're gonna do pretty well. I think they'll be upper middle of the pack.
All right. Joey, are you chomping at the bit? Go for it. I can see you biting your damn tongue. Get it, let it out, brother.
I disagree with Jen. I think bottom 3, second out.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Just because I think Jen's, and I love her, I do, but I think she's hanging her hat on the male female thing. And again, statistically, there's just more male females in the race.
It's Eswar, by the way. Rhymes with
Eswar.
Eswar. Sorry about that. Sorry.
Thank you, Leo.
Their brother and sisters, they're hoping, they're already, you should be able to work with a sibling. And if you can't, it's a sibling. I mean, it's your whole life you've been with them. If you haven't figured it out by your mid-20s, and no offense to anyone who's still in their mid-20s, when you're in the mid-20s, you don't know shit. So, I'm sorry. You just don't. You think you do, but unless, you travel, in service something other than you've been an engineer from California. And of course, everyone from California thinks they know everything anyway. So check it out. Enjoy shopping.
All right. Bottom three. So from California or in California right now, Dr. Maya Warren, what are you thinking?
So I have them. You guys know I like the sort of more intellectual teams.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that they really, 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 really know each other because they are siblings. I think that can be advantageous as well as maybe not advantageous. They're gonna bicker. It's not gonna do them well. But if they're gonna lead with their heads and use their analytical side and their brains to really, make stuff happen, it can really do well for them. I see them going, kind of like maybe fifth kind of range, kind of, I guess, upper middle.
This is the fourth, fifth place team, by the way, for you, Maya.
Huh?
Fourth team.
Oh, is it?
Place.
Sorry.
And they're all intellectual. They're all intellectuals.
I want
Listen,
everyone to win.
It's middle of the pack. You don't have to exactly put where it is.
Okay,
the top three, bottom three, middle of the
middle.
pack.
Middle. And I said, I'm excited to actually see their strategic approach. I think they may be very strategic and surprise us with it because of their intellect.
Interesting. All right. So let's move on. We got two more teams to talk about, and then we can pick our winners. And don't forget, guys, after this episode, we're going to move over to Twitch, and we're going to have a bunch of the Season 32 cast, as well as some other amazing racers playing Among Us together, where we're going to try to kill each other and lie to each other, and it'll be fun. So stick around, or actually, I'll send you over to that after this. All right. So let's get to the next team up. Another team of professional athletes. I don't know if Olympians are professionals, but let's call them professional athletes. Olympic hurdlers, Kelly and Lavon, or Lavone, Kelly and Lavon, 38 and 34. I mean, they are super similar to Jasmine
Christy and Jen? Say it.
Jasmine and Danielle from my season, who were both track stars in college. They both, did decathlons and heptathlons and all that, and they have that set of skills. I think they are almost the exact same person. I don't think they're diverse enough to go that far in the race. I have them solid middle of the pack. Going to be really fun to watch, but I think the skill sets are going to be way too similar to take it to the end. So I have them middle of the pack, probably sixth-ish. Joseph?
Let's go back. What did you have Christy and Jen? Because they had a similar skill set.
Christy and...
Not great, Alex.
Christy and Jen, I think I had them around fourth.
Yeah.
No.
I think so.
Well, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I
remember watching it like Victoria and being offended.
It was like 3-4 years ago. I don't know. Listen, once the season started, you know who my favorites were on that season. So
when I saw Christy and Jen's bio and I saw them, I said top 3 all day long, and I'm going to say it again: top 3, top 2 for these two.
Woo!
Heard it here first.
Joey.
Hold on one second. Wolf, if you don't calm the fuck down, I'm booting you out of the chat. Got that? That's your first and last warning. Got it? Thanks, Dick. All right. We only got one Dick on this show. It's Joey. Now get back to the Dick.
Okay. I just think that they're athletic. Hurdling is a skill. It's like skiing. It's not just a physical thing. It's a timing thing. It's a thinking thing. And when you're running against other people, it's the same as skiing. They're gonna do great. I think they're gonna do great because I don't know. I feel it. Look. Just look right at it. I did this specifically. I dug this shirt out.
We can't see anything.
That's funny.
You can't see this shirt?
It's the same. It's their same color.
It's
It's
their
like
race
that.
color.
Oh.
Race color.
Yeah, it's their
super fan.
It's their race color. Here it is. There's their color. There it is.
There's your winners right there.
There's your win.
There's your winner.
That's the worst predictions today. Dr. Maya Warren, what do you got?
So I like it that Kelly has done a lot of traveling. I like the fact that they're teammates. They work together. However, it's kind of individual teammates. I mean, it's hurdling.
Right. It's individual sport.
Sort of individual in a way. Yeah. So, but I do think that they're going to do well. I also want to see a female team do well. So I have them up here with the volleyball players as well. I think that they have a lot of strengths that go with them. Not quite sure about how fit they're still physically fit, but not sure if they're at their prime anymore because of age. However, I still think they're going to do well. Look, y'all can kick my butt. So I'm not saying that you're not like an amazing athlete. I'm just saying for the race stuff. But I think again that they've, at least Kelly has traveled and that they have worked together. I think that's going to do well for them. I also think women tend to be very level-headed at times, although we don't see female teams win a lot. But I think that they are going to go far.
All right. Jen, Covino seems to think they're very similar to you and Christy.
They may have been cast for the same role, but I think they're going to be middle of the pack. And I could be wrong about this, but one difference between track and more traditional sports compared to what Christy and I did is that we had to be the ones organizing all of the logistics of our travel the entire time, that we were competing professionally.
Right.
And when you're on more like these traditional team sports, you have somebody that does that for you. So she may have traveled a lot and likes being in different places, but I'm not sure if she's had to deal with the logistics of it, driving in a country where you don't speak the language and so I have them middle of the pack.
All right. Our final team is two former NFL stars, Gary Barnidge, DeAngelo Williams. One I think was a tight end, and one was a running back. 34 and 37 years old. They admit they didn't do anything to train for this. They obviously don't need the money. Both millionaires. Normally, I would say that's a sure sign for a bottom three team, but I think their athleticism and the diversity between them, they both grew up in different types of environments. Even though they're both professional football players, I think that through reading their bios, they have different skill sets that'll take them far enough to get them to a middle of the packish, somewhere 5th, 6th, 7th-ish, right around there. That's kind of what I'm thinking of with Gary and DeAngelo. This is our final team. Then we could do our predictions for winners and then questions, and then we're done. So, Gary and DeAngelo, Dr. Meyer Warren, what are you thinking about the former NFL stars?
I think they're going to do well because they just have that competitive drive. It's kind of like, I don't know how well they're going to do depending upon some of the challenges, and they did not prepare. However, I don't think on our season that Brooke and Rob prepared much either, and they made it to Final Four. So you never know. I wish that they would have prepared. Let me just say that. But DeAngelo says he described himself as a natural winner. They could totally surprise us and make it decently far. But I kind of have them in mid kind of running of the pack, closer to the bottom.
All right, Jen, what are you thinking about the former professional NFL players on The Amazing Race?
I've got them solidly middle of the pack as well. I want them to stick around because even just the snippets that I've seen of them so far is just, they seem really entertaining. They're going to be fun to watch. So, but yeah, between the not training, I'm kind of the camp that you can't really train for this race all that much. But you can at least watch the season.
Yeah.
And,
right.
There's some extent you can try. So yeah, we'll see how that fares for them.
Joey Covino. I know you got to go soon, so.
Yeah, I think 4th, 5th. I think they've been training their whole lives, and they're both in great shape right now. And again, you look at some people who run the race, and they're twigs. I mean, it's not, and I might be.
Some people who won the race are twigs, right?
Yeah. I might be an enigma too because I never watched the show before I was in, 5 days before, and I binge watched one season. So it can be done. I think I was lucky enough to have an awesome partner as well. But yeah, I think their athleticism and usually football players are the smartest people around too. So, but they you have to be able to function. And they've been out of football for a few years too. So I think they're solid 4-5.
Solid 4th and 5. All right. It's that time. The time that everybody's been waiting for. Winner predictions for this season. I will go first. I am solidly picking Will and James to dominate this season. Not just win, but dominate this season. Super fans. They're in great shape. They work well together. I see them. Once James got the call to be on this show, he's been preparing his whole life for this. But once he got the call, I'm sure he went that extra step. I'm sure he took the Justin school of preparing. And I know that he was ultimately prepared. And anything that he does, Will is going to do with him, because that's how they are. I have them as a solid winner. I don't have any doubts in my mind they're winning this race. Yeah, that's my pick to win. Jen Hudak, who you got?
I agree, Justin.
Really?
My winner. Yep. Yeah, I don't really have much else to add to that. I don't know that they're gonna like dominate. But I think that they're gonna come away with the win for sure.
Nice. Maya, what do you got? Who you got winning this season?
I mean, I cannot choose between Madison and Riley and Will and James. Honestly, I can't choose between the two. I think they each teams have really great strengths, and they're both female. I mean, they're both male, and I really want to see female win, but I just don't know if it's slated that way this season. But I think either one of those teams, with a close one being, possibly, who is it? The dating couple, Alana and Leo, possibly.
Ooh, green team. Joey Cavino. Who are you cursing with your pick?
I think you're 100% right. I think Will and James went through the Justin Stephen super fan college. They did everything the right thing, and that's why they cut him in second.
Who's gonna win?
I think Joey, I agree. I think it's gonna be so close.
It's gonna be one of those things that it's just the luck of the draw, or something's gonna happen.
The cab, you know what I mean? Like
2 mistakes.
Yeah.
2 mistakes all season. First leg and last leg. But go ahead.
Well, that's all. If they went to your school, that's all it takes.
They learn from our mistakes. Who do you think's winning?
Got it with Kelly and Lavon.
Who?
Kelly
Kelly and Lavon, the Olympian athletes.
I think they're going to sneak in. I think they're going to sneak in third place, and they're going to win. And the other one team's going to be Riley Madison. Riley Madison to come in at second, and Will and James are going to fall to third.
Whoa!
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No. Will and James are going to fall to second. Riley Madison, they're going to go to third.
Wow, you're picking his top 3.
Top 3, there it is.
What is the Justin Sheeman School of Amazing Race? This podcast,
you need to charge for it.
The races recap is me being able to share my nerddom with everybody that loves the race as much as I do. And if you watch the season 27 recap or the season 28 recap, I go through a lot of the stuff that I did to prepare and the reasons that we did so well. Okay. I think that's going to wrap it up. Other than that, there's some things that we know. The first stop's Trinidad and Tobago. They're going to go to France, Germany, Kazakhstan, Brazil. That's the ones that were released by CBS. Really looking forward to Kazakhstan. That'll be interesting. Brazil, France were on my season. Germany, they don't go to that often. Kazakhstan, I don't know if they've ever been there, but it's going to be very interesting to see that. Couple questions before we go. Faith, Justin, you said earlier you knew Will and James were on the season. How did you know? That I saw a spoiler on social media somewhere. I don't know. I can't remember where it was, but I yelled. I think somebody knows that James was a big super fan of Amazing Race, did recaps, and somebody reached out to me and said, "Did you see Will and James are going to be on the race?" And I'm like, "Don't spoil the race for me. I don't want to know." But so that's how I found out that they were. Season 13 was Kazakhstan. Thank you, guys. Christine and Jen were 4th or 5th on Justin's assessment, by the way. Damn, somebody went and checked. 4th or 5th.
Sorry, I shouldn't have been offended then.
No, you should have been offended because you did better than that, right? Zachary, Zach says, the question I have is, do you think CBS saw that they were calling for more diversity and that's why the cast is so diverse? I think it is one of the most diverse casts to ever be on the show.
My season was super diverse.
I'm not saying...
I think.
Yeah, I'm not saying that your season wasn't. I'm just saying this looks like one of the most diverse casts. Yeah. They have 60-year-olds, 20-year-olds. They have every shade of human that you could possibly think of. Every, combination, male, female, brother, sister, father, son. Like, they have as much diversity as you could possibly ask for. Maybe you could have a couple more older teams, but teams.
I agree. It's good.
But would anybody if anybody feels like they want to throw in an answer to these questions, just let me know. Maya,
I'm gonna run.
Go ahead. Thank you.
I'm gonna run. So, Jen, it's so awesome to see you. Best of luck with everything, and Maya, I love you, and Justin.
Yeah.
Good to
Bye,
see
Joey. Good to
you.
see you.
Patriots suck. Dr. Maya, I have a question for you. Do you have any suggestions for dairy-free ice cream?
Yes, I don't know where you live, but dairy-free ice cream, if you're going to get dairy-free, make sure, I think it should be made with coconut fat. Look at the label, see if it's made with coconut fat, because coconut fat mimics milk fat very well in terms of its microstructure sort of behavior, and that gives you the texture that you're looking for in ice cream, if you're not adverse to coconut. However, there are a lot of deodorized, deflavorized coconut oils out there that companies are now using.
Yeah, I can't stand the taste of coconut, so...
A lot of people can. It's one of those kind of polarizing flavors. So I would go that route. In terms of brands, I don't know. I mean, I don't really eat vegans.
You don't have to go with brands. You don't have to go
that far. That's my suggestion. But yeah, just try it out.
Oh, Cody is in the chat, one of our noodlers. What's up, Cody? All right, let's get to a couple more questions. Would you guys rather fight a dozen duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? One horse-sized duck. Yeah. Of course, it's Michael Harmstone. He doesn't know what to do. What is your least favorite thing about Joey Covino? He's from Boston. In your opinion, do you think the final three of this season will have the first all-male team since the Amazing Race Canada? Yes. I have a male team winning. I have a male team I have my top three are Will and James, Leo and Alana, and the volleyball players, the McKibbins. Those are my top three. So yes, two male teams and one male-female team. Any other questions, throw them in chat. If not, we are going to be heading over to Twitch to play some video games. I'll put the link in chat. Put your questions in chat now, otherwise we got to go. I don't want to keep you guys too long.
And I just want to say
that
I know that everyone would have totally underestimated Amy and I.
Absolutely.
So, yes, I know that for a fact. People underestimated us even when we were in literally
when you were in the final three, they were still like, oh, they have no chance to win. No chance to win.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say you cannot judge a book by its cover because Amy and I knew we were going to win. We knew we were going to win.
Will you redo your predictions after the first episode? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Jen, what are your top three though?
But I feel like you have so much more.
Mm-hmm.
Mine are Alana and Leo, Hung and Chi, and Will and James.
Will and James. Oh, Hung and Chi in the top three. Okay, there you go.
I like that. I like Hung and Chi up there. I think I don't know. There's something about him.
Do you think this season will have any twists like head-to-heads, U-turn votes, or switchback tasks? I think there'll be a switchback task. Don't think there'll be a U-turn vote. I don't think that went too well the last time they tried it. I like the head-to-heads. A lot of people don't. I don't like the way they were executed here. I like the way Canada does it. So if they're going to do the head-to-head, I hope they do it like Canada does it, not like they've been doing it. Especially don't do it right before the fucking finish line, where the finish line's in sight. So stupid. Yes. Will anybody end up dead? No. Do you think this season will have the first 3 finishers of leg 1 in the final leg? No. It's so hard to be finished top 3 in the first leg and top 3 in the last leg. It's so hard.
There's so many legs in between.
It was the same top 3 in our first leg to our finale, but the order ended
really?
Yeah.
Which location?
Interesting.
Which
Iceland, and then our finale in San Francisco. So Christy and I finished first. Cody and Jessica finished second, and Henry and Evan finished third in Iceland.
That's how it should have ended.
Thanks, Jeff.
We won't talk about.
But anyway,
those who shall not be named. That's how they will be referred to on this show. They are Voldemorts of the Amazing Race. Which location that's been revealed so far are you most excited about? Kazakhstan. Actually, take that back. Trinidad and Tobago. I think Trinidad and Tobago is going to be
I'm excited for that one. It's going to be beautiful.
I saw some dancing. I saw running. I saw swimming. I love when they incorporate water into the Amazing Race. I love that. All right, cool. Anybody else? You got anything you want to promote? You want to talk about? Anything going on? Dr. Maya, Ice Cream Sundays still popping?
Yeah, Ice Cream Sundays is still going. I'm doing a Halloween series right now. So next week is Cookie Monster for kids. The week after that is candy corn. I am not a candy corn lover, but it was really voted on. So a candy corn ice cream. And then the week after that will be actually on Halloween. So if you have kids or just home, want to make some good ice cream, we're going to make a Snickers inspired ice cream on Halloween, which is a Saturday. So,
ooh, Jen?
Oh, nothing except that I wanted to talk more about ice cream.
Go for it.
The dairy-free ice cream question. There's a brand they sell at Whole Foods called Coconut Bliss. The chocolate hazelnut is my favorite, but it's really good. And like you were saying, it has that similar texture to regular ice cream.
Do you taste the coconut at all?
In that one, you do taste it a little bit, at least when I last had it, but I love coconut, so it doesn't bother me. But it's not overly coconutty.
Yeah, hazelnut or chocolate, like those really peanut butter, anything really, really, really dominant flavor-wise can kind of hide the coconut a little bit depending upon how much they use. But good, I'm glad. So Elena on here, Coconut Bliss was a product that Jen has tried, so maybe that one. But anything with coconut I think is the way to go. Stay away from like the avocado stuff. I think it's like full of stabilizers that just kind of make it gummy and not really good on texture. So, but anyone ever have any ice cream questions, feel free to hit me up.
Yes.
I love ice
on
cream.
Instagram. And where can people get some escapades? Where can they get some info on the escapades?
Oh, yeah. You can go to our website, escapod.us, escapod.us.
.us. Check them out. They are absolutely incredible. I watch all the videos and I'm so jealous. I would love to be able to get one of them.
Thanks.
Yes. All right. So we are going to be heading over to twitch.tv/JustinClassic1. A bunch of amazing races from a bunch of seasons, but a lot from season 32 we'll be playing over there. Link is in chat. You guys are awesome. Jen, thank you so much. You will be popping on from time to time this season. Yes. Next week, we will have season 26 winner, Laura Pearson, going over the first episode. And then hopefully every episode after that, we'll have somebody from this season as a guest. I'm going to work on booking that today as I have them in chat with Among Us, etc. So yes, somebody did mention, will we be having season 32 guests? Yes, we will. Hopefully every week after the first week. But first week, we got a winner coming back so we can have 2 winners' perspectives and 2 runner-up perspectives on how this first episode went. And then I don't know if Jen has the time. You're totally welcome. If you do, hopefully she'll be here. And maybe we'll redo some of our predictions, but we'll see how it goes. You guys in chat, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Time is the most valuable thing that you have, and for you to spend any of it with us really means a lot. Season 32 cast, thank you so much for hanging out and being understanding. You guys watching it in chat, you're awesome. You guys watching it later, we appreciate you. Again, we don't have much to go on. We love being proved wrong. We're looking forward to an incredible season. And if you ever have any questions, reach out to any one of us on any of our social medias. Links in the chat. We'll gladly be able to help you or guide you with any advice that you guys have. All right, that's going to do it for the Races Recap. If you guys enjoy this, make sure you like it, share it with somebody, post about it on social media, tell them how great the show is. We'd love to grow the family. Thank you guys for spending time with us. Have a great one. All right. That's going to end.
Awesome.
That's going to end it. Everything good on your side?